What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, your host show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football. And today I got another 2-round, 1 QB rookie mock draft. We're going to go over those first 2 rounds. We're going to analyze them and see what is happening with this guy. With that being said, let's jump into this mock draft. It's time for round 1. We're going to go over the picks real quick, and then we're going to go over the whole round all together. With the first pick coming off the board here for the 101, first player is Breece Hall, running back from Iowa State. At the 102, we got Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State. At the 103, Treylon Burks, wide receiver from Arkansas. At the 104, Drake London, wide receiver from USC. At the 105, Kenneth Walker, running back from Michigan State. At 106, Jameson Williams, wide receiver from Alabama. At 107, Isaiah Spiller, running back from Texas A&M. At 108, Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty. At 109, Chris Olave, wide receiver from Ohio State. At 110, Christian Watson, wide receiver from North Dakota State. At 111, Guy Moore, wide receiver from Western Michigan. And at 112, George Pickens, wide receiver from Georgia. So this first round is pretty standard. Breece Hall 101. He is the 101 in about 95% of the mock drafts, especially in 1 QB. Super flex, usually between him and Malik Willis. Then we got the big 3 wide receivers coming after him. And that's Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, and Drake London. Those 3 wide receivers usually go off the board in the same range, and they're usually flipped and flopped. Different order, different time, usually. Last 3 drafts, I think, they've all came in a different order, but they're usually all together sandwiched there. Kenneth Walker is usually in the top 3. He fell to the 105 in this part of the draft. There are some people who are questioning his ability to catch the ball in the backfield. There are some people questioning him as a running back. So it's not too surprising that we see him fall a few spots. Usually, lately, I've seen him go around the 102, 103 range in rookie drafts. Sometimes one wide receiver come off the board right after Breece Hall, then him, or he'll be the 102. There was a draft where he was the 101. So his value is top 5, usually more in the top part of that top 5, though. Jameson Williams, 106. He's usually around this range. Isaiah Spiller has been all over the place in the back half of the first round. 111, 110, 112-ish. Lately is where I've seen him at. 107 is not too bad. I feel like for a running back who could get high draft capital, and we're making these drafts in April, it's all right to shoot a shot here. If he falls in the draft, obviously he's going to drop some. If he goes high in the draft, obviously he's going to hold value in this range. 108, Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty. This is a lot to pay for a quarterback. First rounder in a 1 QB league. I would rather get him in the second round, hopefully the latter part of the second round, not 201, 202-ish. But I understand if he's your guy, or if you're not in love with some of the other players on the board. Chris Olave, 109, pretty standard for him. Christian Watson, 110. I've been watching him jump up the boards this whole draft season. He could be the guy that could be the face planner, or he could be just the guy that exceeds expectations. He could be our Cooper Kupp, or he just could be another one of those guys that just got that draft season buzz who gets overdrafted. We'll find out. If he goes in a good situation, we may be all over him still. At 111, Sky Moore. I love him. One of my top wide receivers. I'm all about paying up for him. I wish I could still get him in the second round of rookie drafts. I love him that he's going into first value-wise for him. But for me, I wish I can catch the discount. But I still would be paying this back half of the first round for him. I still would be doing that. I think this is a good value for him. If not 109, 108-ish range in some of these leagues. George Pickens, 112. I think that's a good value. Some drafts I'm seeing him going like the 1.6 range, 110, 109-ish. So this is a little bit of a discount for him in 1 QB. But I think George Pickens could be a riser, especially goes in the right situation. I mean, a riser like consensus 106 area, gets with the right quarterback, gets in the right system. But that's it for the first round. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. But right now, we're going to that second round. Let's read off the second round real quick. So here at the 201, we got Rachaad White, running back from Arizona State. At 202, Jahan Dotson, wide receiver from Penn State. 203, John Mechie, wide receiver from Alabama. 204, Zamir White, running back from Georgia. 205, David Bell, wide receiver from Purdue. 206, Trey McBride, Tight end from Colorado State, 207, Brian Robinson. Running back from Alabama, 208, James Cook. Running back from Georgia, 209, Kyron Williams. Running back from Notre Dame, 210, Justin Ross. Wide receiver from Clemson, 211, Jalen Tolbert. Wide receiver from South Alabama. And 212, Kenny Pickett from Pitt to finish off the second round. The second round's pretty cliche here. Similar players coming off the board in every draft here, but in different order. Rachaad White, 201. Pretty safe, considering some people are drafting him in the 105 area. Some people are fading him to like the 205, 206 areas in some draft. And that's because we don't know where he's going to go in the actual NFL draft. There's rumors that he could fall. There's also rumors that he could get decent draft capital. His receiving production, his ability to catch the ball in the backfield has a lot of people intrigued. That's understandable considering he's a running back. Jahan Dotson, 202 here, could get first-round draft capital. With that being said, that could be wheels up for him. We've also seen him go in the first round, a lot of mock drafts. We've also seen him slip a little farther than the 202 range in some mock drafts. John Mechie at 203 is one of the highest points I've seen him drafted at, usually in the back half of the second round or top of the third round, depending. But he could get some draft capital here. We're looking at second round possibly for him, maybe third. So if that happens and we get some wide receivers that go in some destinations that we don't like, we could see John Mechie creep up the board. Zamir White at the 204 is a decent price tag for him, considering the former knee issues, considering his pass-catching production and everything else. I still think he's a very talented running back. I feel like there's a lot of upside here. I like that value. I would pay up for him, especially goes in a good situation with good draft capital. I love David Bell at 205. I'd be paying that price tag all day. I think I'd have him 201, 202, 203 range until we find out what the NFL draft thinks of him. And if he's fourth round or later, I'm just buying the dips in ADP. Trey McBride over here at Colorado State. Good tight end prospect. He's got a high market share of offensive production. I don't like paying a second round for tight ends, but if things get leery in the second round this year after the draft, then I'm cool with it. But I would rather drop a third rounder on a tight end. Usually you can spend that second round pick on a veteran tight end who's getting you production instead of having to wait a year or so for Trey McBride. But in the right situation, you may not have to wait either way. Brian Robinson, running back for Alabama, shooting your shot on running backs here. Him, James Cook, Kyron Williams. Makes sense. You want to get that running back, mid-level draft capital. One of those guys are going to be drafted a little bit higher than expected, more than likely. They all got the Power 5 school helmet on, which could elevate their stock a little bit, could get them drafted higher than what you think. Draft capital matters a lot for running backs. That perks me up a little bit. I love Justin Ross here at 210. Justin Ross is a guy that will be climbing boards if he gets drafted in day 2. He will be, and he'll be in the top part of the second round. If he falls, then he's a guy that we're buying dips on. But he is one of my guys. A lot of people who watch this channel or in the comments, they like Justin Ross as well. I feel like the talent's there. I feel like the injury situation is sad. I wish it didn't happen. And then he came back to a bad Clemson offense. It's hard to get a good read on the noun on Justin Ross. But I feel like if the NFL says we're good, then I'm going to be good. And if I'm going to be good, I'm going to be drafting a lot of Justin Ross at price tag or a little bit more to make sure I get him. Jalen Tolbert's one of my favorite small school wide receivers. Honestly, going into the process, I was hoping to get him with third and fourth round rookie picks. Getting him in the late second, it's great for him. It's great to see him get this kind of buzz, this kind of notoriety. I just wish I was getting the discount. I'm not against paying for that if he's going to a good spot, getting draft capital. Kenny Pickett at 212, at the back part at 212 in the rookie draft. That's when I'm really going to start thinking about going for the top quarterbacks, that back end of the second round. I don't hate on it. He's probably going to be one of the first quarterbacks selected. He could go into a good situation. That being said, I don't hate it too much. I'd rather it be in the third round, especially when we got a slew of quarterbacks still on the board. And there are some running backs still available that I could still draft. There are some wide receivers. I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson got picked. So there are some players here that I would rather get in one QB, considering there's other quarterbacks here that I could take a stab at cheaper cost. and not have to worry about it, considering quarterbacks don't hold as much value in one quarterback leagues. But let me know what you think about this draft. Who fell, who rose, who got overdrafted, whatever. Let me know in the comments. But I want to suggest you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. Fuels me to keep pumping out this content on the daily. I'm one of the few guys out here giving you a Dynasty Fantasy Football YouTube vid on the daily. If I miss one, you know I'm going to come back with a double shot. You know that's going to happen. And then I give you double shots anyways. So you might as well hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. I'm covering the rookie draft hard. Rookie mock drafts, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them a week now. Just getting you guys ready and prompt for your rookie drafts. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.